Hi there, I wanted to do a quick video on something that really got me worked up yesterday. I got really quite, I don't know, like angry about it, and I think it is a big problem that's going on right now with a young generation of girls, and it worries me. On Twitter yesterday, there was this trend, and it was fanfics that should be movies, and from that trend I got the information that apparently a fanfiction was being made into a movie, right? The rights have been bought for the movie apparently, but if the movie ever gets into production is another thing. One Direction fanfiction, right? And my issue isn't with the fact that it's poorly written, which it is, the fact that it's a stupid plot, which is. My problem with it is that it is, yet again, another young adult-based romance that is completely unhealthy and should not be looked up to from young girls. Girls, they think this is like these plots are romantic. They think that if a guy is possessive and controlling and abusive, as if that is romantic. That is not what romance is. This one in particular is called After, right, and it's about Harry Styles. So his name is used, it's not him, right, and basically it's about a girl who falls in love with Harry Styles, right, and he falls in love with her, but he's incredibly controlling, possessive, borderline abusive, won't let her see her friends, basically it's just this horrendous romanticisation of a completely unhealthy relationship. And this fic has over 600 million views on Wattpad. That is millions of teenage girls are reading this and commenting and saying it's this amazing piece of literature that they look up to, and there's so many things wrong with that, and it all stems back to this whole Twilight idea that if a guy is an asshole to you, then he does it because he loves you, and I am so sick of this narrative because no one should ever have to put up with that. This is what teenage girls think love is. This is what teenage girls think love is. That's what scares me. And it's like, are they going to go out into the real world and look for guys who treat them like objects, physically abuse them, mentally abuse them, keep them away from their friends, just mess them around, and all in the name of love? Is this what teenage girls think their future is? I'm 21 years old, and there are people my age who read, you know, Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey, and they think that this is romance, and it's not. Because One Direction is just like so fantasy based within teenage girls' lives, it's like the main, I'm not blaming the teenage girls for being attracted to One Direction, because that's what they're marketed as. One Direction is marketed towards teenage girls for them to indulge in fantasy that they're going to fall in love with either member, because that's what boy bands are about. And I'm not going to blame teenage girls for the sexist marketing of higher ups, you know. I was hoping it would be something that would be left behind in the 90s, but it continues to this day, and we're still using the same sexist tactics as they were before. Again, with the fanfiction, this isn't because it's het fanfiction, which I don't read het fanfic. That's fair enough, because I don't enjoy it. But if you enjoy imagining dating a celebrity or whatever, and you want to write about it, and you write about it, that's fine. But the problem here isn't that. The problem is the way it's written. If you're going to fantasise about falling in love with a celebrity, make it about being in love. Don't make it about abusing you and using you and treating you like shit. how is that even a fantasy? Why do you want that to happen to you? Nobody wants that to happen to them. I trust you. Trust me, if that happened to you in real life, you would not be happy with it. I just have so many issues with it. Not just the whole teenage girls thinking this is normal. It's the issue of using a real person as well, because whereas with Twilight, okay, that was a made up person. It's like Harry Styles is a real guy, and yeah, he is famous, but he's not a fictional character that you can take and bend to your whim. And I'm sure that he doesn't enjoy the idea that people think he could be this horrible of a person who would just like treat his girlfriends like shit. And it's a really messed up mentality, because teenage girls think that this is okay, but the whole fandom of One Direction basically, like, there's just this whole split down the middle between people that ship Larry Styles in and people who don't. And the biggest thing in the fandom is, the thing that makes you a fake fan is if you think any member of One Direction is gay. That's what makes you a fake fan, apparently, in the eyes of teenage girls. But what makes you a real fan is if you write fan fiction in which they abuse girls. Apparently that's acceptable. That's acceptable behaviour. Because you can write about Harry Styles beating the shit out of some teenage girl because he loves her, but you can't write about two consenting adults in a gay relationship because that's inappropriate. Let's not go too far. As if members of One Direction are going to be more insulted at the idea that you think they're not straight than that they think they're a rapist. Like, I can't logically wrap my head around that idea. I think there's some serious disconnect between teenage girls and reality right now, and they need to get a grip. But at the same time, we need to stop encouraging it. We need to stop playing off of it. We need to stop indulging in these novels and these books that dictate to young girls that this is what a romantic relationship is. Because we're going to end up with a generation full of girls who don't understand what a healthy relationship is, which is really, really sad. But if there's any teenage girls watching this, just know that you deserve better. If someone loves you, they love you, and they treat you with respect and as equals. And you're two individual people who can live separately, who just happen to come together, and you can have separate lives. It's not this whole possessive, addictive, abusive relationship where you can't live without one another. That's not what love is. So, how about we start romanticising healthy relationships?